Welcome to 2020, day 16. So, um, winding down, and what I want to do, I guess, the last few days of this whole thing is give you a few tools that I think might help you and answer, kind of try to tie this bow. But the reality is that you've started something that keep going, and there's going to be a certain amount of kind of daily or at least regular effort that's going to have to go into it. Now, one of the things that takes regular effort is talking to your customers. Now, I know this is something, you guys, that I struggle really hard with is keeping up with the text, the emails, the Facebook messages, the Skype messages, the Google Hangout messages, and all the different ways that people can contact me. But I found a couple of things that have helped me and could potentially help you as well in terms of being able to serve your customers and not spend all of your time doing it. So, the first tool that I think a lot of people don't know about is if you have a Facebook business page, you can also install this, by the way, on your website. I think I have this on the Angerspace website. Cobbler's kid situation. You got, you know, my kids always have the worst shoes. So there's these things called you might, if you, I don't know, use a bank or something, you've probably interacted with a real person over chat. Um, like usually in the lower corner of the website. And I think this is there we go. So we've or where we're talking to a real person. Like that happens. That's a paid thing. And honestly, you're probably not going to be dealing with the volume of customer service where you need a paid, dedicated customer support person over chat. But the other way that a lot of chats work is with some kind of automated system. So this is one that works on your Facebook page, but also it can work on your website if the people visiting your website use Facebook Messenger like you do. And the um, the way to program this is it's called a chat bot or a messenger bot or messenger marketing. There's a lot of different words for it, but kind of the big tool out there is called ManyChat. And so this is a free tool, and the paid version allows you to do some cool things, like allows people to shop within Facebook Messenger in your online store and things like that, or it lets you. Um, Let me just show you what I mean, and then you'll say, "Oh, okay, I get it." So, the main thing that a lot of people kind of start with chatbots is some kind of welcome sequence. So, a welcome sequence is, and let me just edit this because this means nothing to you. Um, a welcome sequence takes people through a kind of orienting thing when they first get to your page or first start messaging you. And so you basically imagine a conversation and take people through it. So as you see here, I can like put a message, I can add a typing delay, say, you know, what are you looking for? They click on love it. Come on. I can, be taken to another set of messages. The other thing is I can make it so that the buttons allow people to go to a website link, or they can also call. There's like you can add in the ability to call a phone number, and lots of other things. So basically, if you really liked those choose your own adventure books when we were kids, then you'll be really good at programming these things. So what you can do is you can take customers through sort of like an orientation. The other common thing that people do with these things is they program what are called keyword triggers. So if someone messages your Facebook page and says like, "What are your hours?" or like, "Do you have X?" What you can do is if someone, write a keyword trigger that says, okay, if someone types in the word hours, open, uh, you can look at your old Facebook message and figure out what these words are. And then you can say, all right, if they type those words, one of these two, in Messenger, I create a keyword, and oh yeah, then I have to create. So if someone types this in, create this new reply, or select an existing, what's called a, sort of an existing kind of sequence that you have set up in here already. So basically, whether a robot types they are open at 8 a.m. or whether a person does, I don't know. To me, doesn't really matter. So this can save you if you get a lot of the same questions over and over again, or um, this kind of thing can save you a lot of time, and it can also get the customers to where they need to go information wise, when they're ready to talk to you. So what I tell people always when I give workshops on these is if these are programmed well, it will feel like a fun little quiz that you take in a magazine. Like, what, you know, what kind of dog would you be? What kind of breed of dog would you be? And you answer all these. It feels like that if it's done well. And if it's not done well, it feels like people just don't want to talk to you. So what I like to do in my chatbots is sort of iterate that, like, hey, you can type a message here and a real person will get back to you. Here's the number to call us. So I kind of try to iterate in the chatbots that I program that there's real people willing to talk to you, but that this service is here just to get you the information you need when you think you need it. And like I said, in addition to having this be on your Facebook page, you can also add it to your and do some other cool stuff with it. So if you want to go down the rabbit hole, it's a pretty cool thing. Less than 1% of all Facebook pages are using them, which means that it's a bit of the Wild West right now, in a good way, I think. And you can do some, like I said, really neat things. And I don't know, I've actually gotten customers, I think, from the chatbot because I can see what they click on when they get to my stuff. That's the other thing too. When someone interacts with your chatbot, you sort of get some feedback about, what do people click on? Um, and I can see, oh, what it usually shows me like, I don't know why it says 0%. Oh, it's because I rebuilt this one. That's why. Okay. I think I rebuilt the sequence and that's why it says 0%. But it'll tell you like normally, like, oh, this many people clicked on this and this percentage, oh, this many people click on this. It works with a lot of a co-working visa. Like the person who did wanted to talk to them and maybe just couldn't right this second. Now, the other thing that you can do, which I think is good, is to have a separate phone number, even if it's just for a little online business you're doing part time. I've been running my business off my personal cell phone for 11 years. And it's gotten to the point now where like my phone doesn't feel like this fun thing. It feels like work. So, just so that you made a free Google um, at the beginning of this whole process, and every account. And what I did is I pulled up my personal one that I'm not paying a G Suite account for. You can actually basically have one Google Voice number per Gmail account. So you can make basically a phone number that is just for your business, and so you can use that on your banking or your customer support or whatever. So let's just see. I'm just curious. Yeah, didn't think so. So sometimes if you're in a no error code in 207. Okay. Um, Nearby cities. I love that. Why does it think I'm near Missouri and Massachusetts right now? That's so weird. Anyway, so you might not be able to get a quote local number, but honestly, with cell phones these days, people are getting more and more used to typing um, stuff like this. I'm just going to skip the choosing the number thing right now and just go here. How do I have two voicemails? Do I already have a number? Anyway, what's great about Google Voice is, first of all, it's a separate phone number. Second of all, you can make it so it rings to your phone, which is great. So the one kind of bummer with it, by the way, we use Google Voice for anchor spaces. If you call anchor space, that's a Google Voice number. And it is a 207 number. So I'm not really sure why it's not letting me pick a 207 number. But anyway, So when you ring that number, it actually goes to my cell phone among other places. And when it rings, though, it just says Anchor Space. I can't see who's calling. So it's like back in the old days when we didn't know who was calling when the phone rang. It's a little retro. But the third thing I really like about it is it has these visual voicemails. Um, why does it think my name is Brian? So weird. Anyway, I'll have to look at what this number is. I was just trying to find a personal one so that you didn't think that the Google Voice thing was something you had to pay for, but it's something that comes with the Google account. But it'll transcribe your voicemail. Um, okay, I don't know who this is. Just wanting to say hello. Brian and Diane. I feel like I might have squashed a romance here. But I like it because I get an email that says, you got a new voicemail, and it tries to transcribe what was said, which is a real time saver. Especially if you get a lot of robocalls like I do. So I suggest do what I didn't do, which is set up a separate phone number for this business so that you can enjoy your personal phone number again. Um, I'm thinking of changing my personal phone number to something else and just using this one as the business one from now on, but I haven't done it yet. That's like a post-pandemic activity. So yeah, set up a separate phone number and save your sanity. You can record a voicemail on here. It can do all the things that a phone number can do, including ring to your phone. You might have to install a couple of apps on your phone, Google Voice being one. And then there's another app that, like, I believe Google Hangouts lets the phone ring for some reason. So I'm not quite sure, but I remember thinking, it's weird that I have to install two things. But just warning you that that might be something suggested, and it's not super weird. Well, it is weird, but we accept it. And then the final thing I want to talk about is because you have also a Gmail account, you have something that you might not know is there. And this is also with the free and the paid accounts. So I just opened up a new one because I have a bunch of in here. If you go under templates, I have basically templates that I have saved ready to go. So whenever a client sends me an email freaking out because they got a backup error, um, basically a backup error is one of those messages that's like, okay, we want to check that out, but it's not like this giant emergency that you think it would be. But, I like that people are treating their website seriously. So this is me soothing the backup error problem. So there's probably certain kinds of emails that you get a lot. And I know it feels, I mean, if you want to um, so I have basically, some welcome things, you know, anyway, I could definitely have some more in here, but just know it used to be called canned responses. I think now it's called templates, but you can build these into Google and then you can just paste them in. And what I would do, you can't take what you might want to do is write them out in Google Drive and share them with your team so that everyone in your company has the same templates to work with. Um, if they're fielding the same kind of inquiries, and what you can do is, I guess you can basically, when you write your email, and let's say you're like, oh, this is so good, like it could be a template, you could click save draft as template, save as new template, and that's how it would get added into here. So those three things probably have saved me, I don't know, 3 hours a week, I'd say, over time, because I've got a little bit of call filtering going on, at least with Anchor Space anyway. I've got these canned templates, which apply at least a couple times and save me from writing all that email. And then these chatbots, which, people contact, they're like, hey, I was reading about community membership, but I'm ready to buy or whatever. They can have some kind of orientation chat before they talk to me. So anyway, I suggest these tools when things get a little bit hectic running your business. They will. And there might be some other ones out there too. Feel free to share them in the comments if you want. I'm certainly open to learning about new ones. And yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching and have a good night. And I'll see you tomorrow.